Hello everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for Friday, March 21st to the 28th, 2025. I'm actually recording this on the 20th, which is the spring equinox. This morning, the sun went into Aries at 2 a.m. Pacific time. And so we're already in the astrological new year. So let's see what this first week of this new year will have in store for us. I invite you to close your eyes. Let's take 3 nice deep breaths together to pull our energy into sync across time and space. And I invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth, surrounding you with love and light and grounding you and allowing your energy to be fully present in your body at this time for your good. Knowing that being deeply present is what will bring through the deepest truth for you at this time and this deepest integration of understanding, as well as provide you with a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and be compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter, Titania, and I'm here with all of your children about to do the reading of the week for March 21st to the 28th, 2025. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and our collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to be present, facilitating this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and our collective heart and mind for this week of March 21st to the 28th, 2025, so that we can all thrive and show up and celebrate this first week of the astrological new year in good ways, setting the tone for the rest of this year. And with that, let's get started, shall we? Anything that doesn't match those frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. And I'd also like to call in the 4 archangels. I really shortened it today, didn't I? Call in the 4 archangels to surround and protect us, and creating a sacred container of love, of light, of clarity, wisdom, healing, transformation, insight, and peace. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. And once again, that invitation to anything that doesn't match these frequencies is welcome to go now. Okay, we did that properly. Let's get started. Okay, so I ran out to my garden. It's very cold here for the first of spring. And brought in a crocus, which was in sort of closed form, but it has fully opened and shriveled in the time, the hour that it's taken for me to get going here. It's a little sad, but it's a sign of spring. And Aries, of course, is a fire sign, so we're honoring that with the candle today. Okay, Creator, what is it that we need to know for this week of March 21st to the 28th, 2025? As we begin this astrological year, how do we set the tone in good ways so that we can thrive and shine and rise and set good energy for ourselves and for all those whose lives we touch? So that as we move through the world, we bring our goodness and our light with us and elevate the collective field in good ways. Okay, here we are. Right. And so we begin with the card of indecision, the 8 of Swords. And this card shows us that she's ready. She has her sword out. She's not dressed in armor, of course, so I can't imagine she's really ready to do battle. But there's this quality of being prepared, of being ready. Usually with the swords, it's applying the mind, because it's the element of air, through action to cut away, which is that which is extraneous, which no longer serves us. But the name of the card would imply that there's an indecision, a not knowing of what to do. And so she is prepared and she is pausing and allowing herself to be centered and grounded. And as a result, she's receiving a download of information into the crown chakra. So this card is telling us essentially, it's not time. It's not time to take action just yet. There's information that you still need. There's information still coming that we are requiring in order to take that action from that guided and intentional and beautiful place, so that our actions are smoother and more effective and efficient than if we just randomly start swinging our sword all around. That's never good for anybody. So this information is important into our present and into the future of this spread. And we have the card in the present. We have the card of abundance, the 9 of Pentacles. So abundance is different for all of us. My idea of abundance is different than yours, just like my yes is different than yours. And we have different ideas about what that's going to look like and what it's going to feel like for us. But ultimately, it comes back to us exploring, what does abundance mean for me? And it's okay for it to be different. In fact, it's good for it to be different. We can't all want the same things. All of us wanting mega yachts would make the world a very messy place indeed. So this card in the present, it's a pentacle, it's the earth element, it's all that glorious stuff that makes life worth living in a body. And we're being asked to come home to, what is abundance? What does that look like and feel like? And to my mind, abundance is that clean air, that clean water, the clean soils that grow healthy food for everyone, and there being enough for everyone. And a diversity of species on the planet is abundant. Diversity of perspectives is abundant, even if we don't always agree. It nourishes the continued evolution of life. And so this lovely energy of abundance is in our present. And maybe this is part of what we're needing to set for the coming year, this astrological year that starts today. What is the energy of abundance? What do we want to pull in? What do we want to manifest? What do we want to co-create with life? What gorgeous things are we going to make manifest through our abilities and our talents and our relationships and our beingness on the planet at this time? The near future card. And how do we do that? By being the King of Pentacles. So, masterful creator, masterful on the realm of the earth element. Really good. You know, kings and queens look out into their dominion. They see the people, they see the resources, they see the possibilities, and they put them all together so that everybody's winning, so that there's this beautiful expansion for the good of all. Not just for the few or the one, not just the dude at the top, but for everyone. And it's about creating structures, because it's the masculine energy. This isn't sort of feeling our way. This is about, what do we want and what does it look like? And how does it feel? And getting into the energy of, what do we need to put in place? You know, what kind of schedule do we need? What kind of, you know, it could be a business plan, all of that kind of quality of energy. But it's that structured environment that then the creativity can show up into. So this is what we're moving towards. It's this lovely energy of being intentional and looking. And it's connected to the emperor, this quality of looking and using vision properly to see clearly and truly. And as a result of that clean and clear vision, because the King of Pentacles and the emperor are very linked, seeing truly, being able to manifest and pull through, again, this idea of the win-win-win. We want the planet to go forward in good ways. And the best way for us to do that is to make sure that we're healthy, that the planet is healthy, that we're making healthy choices that will benefit the future generations that are coming, rather than enriching a couple of dudes now and impoverishing future generations. We'll have to clean up the mess. Already we've lived through that. We know that. Children of the 70s and beyond, it's like, and probably even before that, knowing that this isn't how we want things to be going, and yet it has been. So what do we want to create? Our visioning, you know, comes back to, what can we do as individuals? Our visioning is really important. And how do we drop those pebbles? How can we drop those energetic pebbles that desire into the collective field of humanity to pull it towards us, to help make it more manifest? If we don't have any vision, then we're running at the effect of somebody else's vision. We're being called to be visionaries and to be generous with our dreams for humanity's future, and thinking about it again from the highest and greatest good, and asking Creator, provide me with vision. That is for the highest and greatest good. That is for my good, but the good of all those I love, my community at large, the rest of humanity, and this beautiful planet we call home with all life on her. Because if we set those intentions, then we know we've laid out a powerful blueprint that we can draw to. We can draw energy towards, and we can relax a little bit knowing that we've set the intention. It's for the highest and greatest good, for the well-being of all, for all of us thriving. Then our decisions and our choices and our inspirations are going to come from that place, because that's the nub of the desiring. That's the hub that we've organized our energy around. The desire is being channeled through that lens, or that, again, that nexus, that hub, and we're pulling from that level, if that makes sense. So that's really, really important, and we are powerful creators. That's what this is telling us. We have the ability to make manifest into the three-dimensional world, into the earth element, that which we want to see. So again, what do we want? Getting clear about it. We may not be ready yet to manifest our visions completely. We're still in the state of, what does abundance look like? What does health look like? What does wellness look like? What does this magnificent future that we are here to co-create look like? That beauty. And we go from there. The foundation card is the card of courage. We have the 7 of Wands. And we have this individual who, again, it's not about this fighting thing. He's standing, he has his shield and he has a sword, but he doesn't have them in the position of defense. He's standing with his back against the wall on a rose, which represents desire. And he's facing the energy and the adversity of whatever's coming towards him from a courageous place of inside-out energy, knowing the yes, knowing the desire, knowing the truth, knowing where one has to line up creativity, inspiration-wise. Because if we're not lining up with our highest enthusiasm, we're not going to have as much energy. When we're lined up with that which we hold and desire very highly, it's easy to go along that path because it's shiny, it's attractive, it's appealing, it generates energy in us. We meet our people, we get pulled along a little bit further, it's a lot of fun, and we wind up going where we want to go, which is where life wants us, and that's why our yes is so compelling and shiny. And if we go in the opposite direction, if we live from the outside in and we listen to everybody except our wisdom and ourselves, then we'll wind up going in the wrong direction and we'll wonder why we're so miserable. How did I wind up here? Kind of like that midlife crisis thing. But coming back to this card here, this is the foundation for this week. This card of courage. Having the courage of our convictions, the courage of our inspiration, the courage of our passion and our desire, the willingness to pursue our yes, the willingness to say yes to our yes and go in that direction, trusting that if that's where life wants us as individuals, we all journey along our path of shiny goodness, setting our beautiful intentions to be in alignment for the highest and greatest good, thriving and loving life as we go, adding to the human field with that energy and enthusiasm, that ultimately we will all wind up going the way we need to go, that we will all be meeting where we need to meet, sharing what we need to share in perfect timing. There are huge cycles within cycles, but when we get deliberate about our intention and our creativity, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Humanity has been dumbed down. We've been believing that we're very small and we're very inadequate. And there's been a lot of narratives lately that are making that seem even more likely, or, I don't know, that humanity is a curse on the surface of the planet. And I don't believe that's the case. It doesn't have to be the case. Solutions are all around us. There are people working on the problems that we're facing. There are fabulous, like regenerative agriculture, for instance. There are different ways that we can do things that are in harmony with the earth plane, the earth element, and we can pull that knowledge in and live our lives in that direction so that we're blessing the earth with our choices and our decisions and blessing ourselves at the same time and having thriving, beautiful lives. So this is very much the quality is the big dream. What is the big dream? Starting with what's your dream? What is your yes? And once again, if you don't know what the yes is, that's okay. But I encourage you to start to consider it. Start to maybe make a note of the things that you notice that you're compelled by, that you want to spend time doing, that if you had a block of time, what would you do? Where would you spend it? It doesn't necessarily have to be the very practical dotting I's and crossing T's. And I didn't do that right, did I? I think I did. Anyway, but where would you spend your energy? What would you do? Would it be about repairing funky old cars? Would it be putting in a garden? And giving yourself permission to go towards that, even in a small way every day, even if it's just going and reading gardening websites, so that and ordering a seed catalog and flipping through that at night before you go to bed, getting in the energy in the vicinity of it. If you can start growing stuff, even better. If you're a gardener, that will nourish you and nourish your field of life and add to the collective. That's what I'm talking about. Us being happy and thriving in little ways in our own experience is nourishing and good for us and helps us to be happier and healthier and more aligned and congruent, which then becomes easier to do more of that, to live into more of that well-being and that congruence. But it also nourishes the collective human field and the field of this planet with whom we have a symbiotic relationship. Kind of like the microbiome in our guts are nourished by what we eat, and they nourish us by producing things that we can't produce and help us to have balance in our mental health and our physical health. We have a similar quality of relationship with the life of this planet. We're not a blight on the planet, except that our choices up to now maybe haven't been as good as they could be. But if we don't have a dream to move towards, then that's problematic. And that's this energy of the courage of our desire, courage of our inspiration, the courage to follow our yes and to go in the direction of that highest enthusiasm. It will serve us personally and collectively. It's not at the expense. One is not at the expense of the other. When we are well, everything is touched by our wellness. And we free others to find their wellness too. I mean, that's the thing. Think about the people who've inspired you in your life. Hasn't it given you permission on some level to thrive a little bit more, knowing that they've done it? And that's what we can do for each other. That's what we can do for the planet. That's what we can do for this beautiful relationship, this tapestry of life on this planet. It really is a remarkable time to be alive and to be experiencing this. Now let's go to the card to grow on and see what that card will have to inform us of. Thank you, cards. Okay, so what is our card to grow on, Creator? How can we live into this setting of good, clean intention for ourselves and our good, our yes, so that we can walk a little further along that path, manifest a little more of that, bring more light to our lives and the lives of those closest to us, and become beacons of possibility, holding beautiful intention for our interaction with life. So we're making everything good for ourselves, for others, and for this planet and all life on her. Okay. Our card to grow on this week is the card of defeat. But I'll draw your attention to the fact that this figure is not in a crumpled pile on the ground, completely defeated. In fact, this individual is standing on a white rose, which is the symbol for purified desire, and is facing the adversity that is coming towards them. And, maybe it's not the most powerful gesture, but it's still that gesture. It's still that willingness to take that stand, that willingness to face what is out there. But what I want to say about that is, where attention goes, energy flows, right? So if we're paying attention to the resistance, then we're going to experience resistance. If we pay attention to how dysfunctional things are and how toxic they are and how wrong they are, through our attention to them, we're giving that energy and it amplifies. So it's important for us, despite the circus and the monkeys and the craziness and the somersaulting that's going on all around us, it's really important to come back to that purified desire. What we were just talking about, the yes within us. That is our path forward. That is our personal calling through the noise and the confusion of this time, is to come home to our yes, to come grounded, to come back to ourselves, to come home to ourselves, to get out into nature, to stay connected, to stay clean and clear, to take care of ourselves so that we're getting enough rest and we're able to be more resilient, that we're eating healthy food so that we're nourished properly, that we're nourishing ourselves on the mental and the spiritual and the emotional levels as well, that we're taking care of ourselves, because then we will have what we need to face the adversity, whatever that is. And we don't have to face the adversity ready to conquer it. It's simply bearing witness to it. There it is. That's the crazy circus that's going on. And just observing it, not getting hooked into it, not letting our energy get hijacked by it, but just observing. Because through that neutral perspective, we are diffusing a dynamic that's been going on for a very, very long time. We're easily hooked in when we're fearful. We're easily hooked in when we're doubtful. We're easily hooked in when things are uncomfortable and ungrounded. But if we don't engage, that dance has to stop. If we don't do our part of that toxic dynamic, the dynamic has to stop. This happens with individuals that we're in direct relationship with, as well as the collective field of life. So we need to be different, doing things differently. We need to come at life from a neutral, higher, broader perspective, grounded in love, grounded in our desire for the highest and greatest good. That beautiful desire that represents our reaching and striving for the highest and good that we are. That's where our energy and focus needs to be. And when we're there, we can separate and distance from the collective circus, if you will, and be more of an observer, be more neutral, be more detached. Because if we hook our energy into that field, we're giving it more energy to be more chaotic. We're adding to that chaos. We're adding to the circus. If we pull our energy out and we get observant and thoughtful and curious, then we're short-circuiting that circuit of energy, I guess is maybe the best way to put it. We're stopping the dynamic. We're choosing differently. We're interrupting that pattern so that it doesn't continue. And that's incredibly powerful. So I think we need to be minding this for this coming astrological year. Not my monkeys, not my circus. We can watch it with curiosity and wonder about it, but I wouldn't give it too much attention because you have important work to do, as do I. Staying clean and clear and centered and healthy and strong and resilient and positive and moving our beautiful yes forward into the world in beautiful ways. And once again, like we said last week, if you don't know what your yes is yet, that's okay. Go to gratitude. Get into the space of appreciating your life and notice what you're appreciating, because it probably will help inform your yes. But notice what you're attracted to. It's as simple as that. What are you drawn to? What are you interested in? What would you like to spend your time on? If somebody said, this is going to be your sabbatical year, here's a bunch of money, go do whatever you want, what would that look like? And maybe just take note of that. Play with that exercise a little bit and notice how it frees your consciousness, takes the pressure off so that you can get a little creative about thinking about how you'd spend your year. And that will probably inform you a great deal about your yes and where you might want to pivot and aim your boat towards. So we are not defeated. We are rising together collectively, standing on the rows of purified desire. Humanity is striving to be more. We're striving to be great. No more limitation, no more holding us back, no more excuses and stories and limitation and manipulation keeping us back. Now it's time for us to just get on our own horse and move our lives forward beautifully in service to ourselves, to each other, and to the earth and all life on her. Sounds simple, hey? Yeah, I know. We have a mission, my friends. We didn't come here lightly. We chose to be here at this time. And notice when you're feeling off. Just notice. Just get curious. Let yourself not be too attached to any of it, because that'll help a lot. When you notice yourself getting worked up by something, take a nice deep breath and go, right, this is all for me. I'm going to focus on what is good for me, on how I can add more beauty and life to this world. Say yes to more life, and trust that as I do so, that will influence the collective human field and turn the whole shebang towards something far more positive and uplifting and generative for all of our good. Okay, so let's take a nice deep breath together. Home to ourselves, home to these beautiful bodies that anchor us on this gorgeous planet of Earth, this incredible, miraculous blue world that circles around our gorgeous sun, the sun that is the source of life and nourishment and intelligence and development. Far more than that sparkly thing in the sky, it is our source of all of us. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children, celebrating this first week of the astrological new year in the sign of Aries. As we set this tone for the coming year, we set the tone for what our intention is as an individual. What are we holding? Our masterful attention to what is important to us, so that we can create more beauty, more harmony, moreness in harmony with life, and help to expand that glorious field of life at this time on this planet in service to more life. Help us to stay focused on the good, on what our yes and the yes and how it calls us towards, so that we can add this good energy to the collective field and add our enthusiasm to the collective field and help to generate a breakthrough for all of us, so that more of humanity can reach this breakthrough point. And we can do wonderful, wonderful things together in harmony with our beautiful Mother Earth and the other species who also call Earth home. Thank you for this opportunity to become aware and to do this good work. We are grateful for all the support and the help that we are receiving. We're grateful for all the inspiration, all the distinctions, and all the God winks that are sprinkled through our lives, showing us we're on the right path. I want to thank all those who helped to hold this space today with us. I want to thank you for being here once again, doing your part to live your beautiful life and to add onto the collective field of this tapestry of magnificence that we're co-creating. I wish you a beautiful first week of this astrological year, and I invite you to set your beautiful intentions so that we can manifest something magnificent together in this coming year. In the meantime, I wish you a beautiful week, and I will see you next Friday. Much love and light. Take good care.